A couple of weeks ago, I created a video about my latest hobby, which I started about 6 months ago, which was trading on the stock market. That is, buying and selling shares. As I mentioned back then, although photography and Instagram is quite a big hobby of mine, I enjoy it a massive amount, and so much so that I created this channel. That's not the only thing I'm interested in. I do lots of other things, including, as I've said, just starting trading on the stock market. It just felt like a nice little hobby to do. And in doing so, I've got this strategy where I'm just only trading £200. I'm not trading any more than that. And I'm buying and selling shares. And when those shares hit £2 positive, then I'll sell them. But if they haven't got to that point, then I keep holding them. Over the last couple of weeks in particular, I've made a couple of trades that I haven't been able to capture on video because of the nature of the stock market and the speed at which you have to do things at times. Means that you can't always capture everything. And I've had a couple of shares that have gone £2 positive, which I've sold them, and the value of my portfolio has increased now by a couple of pounds or a few more than that. So what I felt that I'd do is I'd share my latest status of where my account is. And at the time I created my other video, I suggested that if I get enough feedback from you telling me if you were interested in this or not, I'd do a follow-up video. And what I found was that I've gained lots and lots of subscribers on a percentage basis of the views of the video. The truth is I didn't get many views on the video, but of those views I gained lots of new subscribers and I gained lots and lots of likes. So that I thought that gave me the feedback I needed to do a follow-up video. And if you're interested, then I'm just doing this for you really, so you can see that people do these things and people do these things just for fun. And not seriously. I'm not trying to make lots and lots of money from the stock market. I'm just trying to do a little bit of a trading and just to make a little bit of pocket money if I can. And if I can't, then that's a lesson learned and something that I probably wouldn't go back to. But the fact is, I thought I'd do a updated video just to give you an idea of where my account is now and what's happened to it over the last few weeks since I've made this last video. So what I'll do, I'll jump onto my computer, we'll have a look at my account right now, and we'll see where it's at and what the next steps are. And by the way, if you're wondering what all these marks and bruises are on my head, I've recently been on holiday, and I kind of tend to have active type of holidays. So I sort of banged the right hand side of my head on a tree branch, which was a bit unfortunate and it hurt at the time. And I've also got a graze on my head where I dived into the sea and my head hit the bottom of the sea, which sounds really dangerous, but of course it wasn't. There was no, that was the worst thing that could have possibly happened to me at that time. And obviously it did smart a bit at the time, but it's recovering now. So when you last saw my account, it was sitting at £229.29. That meant that from my initial £200 investment, I gained £29.29. But since then, my account now is standing at £236.60. And in that time, I've sold my shares in 2 companies. But something else has also happened, which I completely didn't even consider, which was really a nice bonus, if you like. And I'll show you exactly what that is. By owning shares, you potentially can gain a dividend. So when a company pays out a dividend to its shareholders, all those people that hold shares in that company at that moment in time, the shareholders will be paid a dividend. So if I have a look at my account, click on my notifications, and you can see here instantly that I gained £1.16 for my 21 NatWest shares. So I've been holding on to those shares because they haven't gained any money or they haven't gained any value in the stock market. In fact, they've just been going down. But I did gain £1.16 just by holding those shares. So that's part of why my account is now at £236. But equally, what I have done is I sold my Taylor Wimpey shares at £1.21.60 of my 45 shares. I'd gained 7p per share, and I sold those for about £3 of profit. So they were positive £3 when I sold those. And I also sold my Vodafone shares, and I sold those at a £2 profit. So when they went over £2, I sold them. The Vodafone shares were interesting because when I bought those, they were really low. They were pretty much at the lowest they'd ever been. The company made some really bad decisions in the last year or two, and sentiment in the company was at its all-time lowest. And I kind of sensed that Vodafone were a decent company. They were a global company, a massive telecoms business, but their share price was really, really low, and I felt that they has to go up. Of course, as soon as I bought those shares, they went down a bit further, but as per my strategy, I keep hold of the shares until they go £2 positive, which they eventually did. They went to £2 positive, and that's when I sold, and I'm happy because I've made some money out of Vodafone. And I don't mind what happens to Vodafone shares now, because they've gone up in value, and that's super great. That's where my account is. So the next steps is that I've sold these 2 blocks of shares, these two £50 values of shares. So what my next steps are is to buy into 2 more companies. So I want to buy back my £50 stake in 2 different companies and hold those until they make £2 and then sell them. Hopefully, if I'm lucky, I'll get a dividend, but I guess that all depends on the time that I buy them and how long I hold them for. And at this point, it's worth pointing out the value of your shares may go up or they may go down. And if you do participate in trading on the stock market, you obviously could be at risk of losing your money. And I'm not a financial advisor, and this video is not financial advice. I'm just doing this for entertainment purposes. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video interesting, and following along with my account might be something that sort of sparks your curiosity. If it does, that's great. It's super. It all works well. And if you like this content, if you like this kind of financial trading type stuff that I'm doing, I'd be super happy if you would give it a like. And if you like this kind of content, it might be worth considering subscribing to the channel. It's completely free. And one more point, if you do watch any of my videos, what would be really, really helpful if when you see an ad, don't skip the ads, or at least watch 15 minutes of the ads. Because if you do, then obviously that gives YouTube another sort of metric to see that my videos are being watched and being liked, because they base a lot on those ads. So if you do that, that'd be great. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you very much for getting this far. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And cheerio.